So far, the build-up for the match at Summerslam between Lesnar and Taker has been absolutely phenomenal. When Taker returned, a lot of people were skeptical as to how they can make a rematch between Lesnar and Taker make sense. I think the next night on Raw, Taker did a good job explaining why he went after Lesnar at Battleground. Basically explaining that it doesn't bother him that the streak is over, which is true both as a storyline and in real life. Undertaker did want the streak to end. He made it clear that's the shot that he called. And now he's explaining that streaks are meant to be broken in public. What is bothering Undertaker is that Heyman and Lesnar keep bragging about it month after month after month how they ended the streak. He hates how arrogant they are about it, and that's why he's challenging Lesnar to a rematch. That all makes sense, and a lot of the marks out there can relax now knowing that there's a real storyline in place, and that they aren't just throwing two legends together for the sake of selling a pay-per-view. Later in the night, Paul Heyman came out to address the challenge from Taker, and about halfway through the promo, Taker comes out and starts taunting Heyman. Brock Lesnar comes out to save Heyman, a brawl ensues between Taker and Lesnar. The entire locker room comes out to break the two icons up, which resulted in a great scene. The brawl would ensue backstage before it finally ended with Lesnar taking a ride in the back of a police van. That segment alone drew the highest rated hour of the night, and so far, WWE Creative has hit a home run with the build-up to this match. But whenever there's a huge build-up for a match, you risk the possibility of a disappointing finish. Is it really possible that at 50 years old, The Undertaker can put out a 5-star classic like he used to? Is Brock Lesnar capable of working a match with such a fragile opponent? Not to call The Undertaker fragile, but at 50 years old, he's not capable of what he was doing 20 years ago. The last time Lesnar worked with The Undertaker, Taker literally had to be taken to the hospital. And the way Lesnar works is different than anybody else on the roster. He works at a very violent pace. That's what people buy into him. You believe his opponents are in grave danger because they are actually getting physically thrown around the ring. He doesn't pull fake punches or waste time on chin locks. His arsenal consists of suplexes, clotheslines, and F5s. The problem with this matchup is Lesnar can't just go out there and suplex Taker 20 times because he would literally kill the guy. Taker can't work a typical Brock Lesnar style match that you've seen these last few years. That leaves us with the possibility of a classic back and forth matchup, which is actually believable, given Undertaker's iconic status in the company. From a visual standpoint, anybody with a brain can see that in a real fight, Lesnar would beat the tar out of Taker. But in a world built around suspending your disbelief, it is actually possible to buy into Taker giving Lesnar a fight. While Lesnar did end the streak at WrestleMania, it isn't as if he walked all over him like he did with Cena at SummerSlam. That match went close to 30 minutes, and while Undertaker did get taken off in a stretcher, it did look like a close fight for the first 15 minutes. Right now, The Undertaker is the only man on the roster right now that can give Lesnar a real fight without taking any credibility away from Lesnar. Lesnar is built as the alpha of the WWE landscape, and if anybody except for Taker gave him a legit push for that title, Lesnar would be knocked down a couple notches in the minds of the fans. The only person that Lesnar could possibly lose to right now, and then rebound and still look like the most dangerous man in the company, is The Undertaker. I think it will be booked as an even matchup, and I still think Lesnar is going to win. But even if they decide for Taker to win, it's still a win-win-win for everybody, because given the talent and experience of Taker and Lesnar, they should have no problem pulling out a great match for one night only. So the fans that are paying to watch the match will win. If Taker loses, it doesn't affect his legacy in the grand scheme of things, as it will likely be his last fight ever. I would say at most he has 3 fights left. I could see him wrestling at WrestleMania 32. But if Lesnar loses, he'll take some time off, like he always does after a big event. You saw him after WrestleMania, get suspended, storyline suspended, take some time off. Night of Champions took some time off, so he'll do the same thing here. And when he comes back, he'll come back with the same attitude as before. Take the head off whoever the WWE champion is. And of course, the WWE will win because they get to sell a whole lot of WWE Network subscriptions.